Okie dokie. So we have our 5. Bless it. Hold on, guys. Sorry, y'all. All right. So we have our 5 rows of knit done. I stuck a stitch marker right here so I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However you decide to do that, rock on with your socks on. Okay? Whatever you decide to do, sounds like a good plan to me. So, next step, we are going to work round 6. So we're going to work round 6. This is not scary, guys. I promise. It's not scary. It looks kind of scary. We're working into that mesh now. It's not scary, okay? I'm going to take you step by step through it. We're going to walk through it together. It's going to be a good time. All right? So we are going to yarn over. So all we're going to do is take our yarn and toss it on over our needle, okay? So I'm just grabbing my yarn, flipping it onto my needle, okay? If you are not a yarn holder, like if you do not hold onto your yarn, if you are a yarn thrower, it is easier to hold it. See how my finger, my index finger is holding on to this yarn? It is much easier to do it this way, okay? That gives it that tension so it's not going to go flopping and wiggling, flopping around on you. All right, so you're going to yarn over, and then immediately we're going to work right into our SSK, our slip, slip, knit. So we're going to slip, slip, go in through that center, and then we're going to knit it, okay? So just like we did with the base, when we were decreasing our base, we're just going to add a yarn over into the mix, okay? That's going to give us, this yarn over is going to give us that hole that the mesh has. And then that slip, slip, knit is going to keep us honest with our numbers, okay? So instead of it being 3, we have 2, okay? So we want to make sure that we're, whenever you're doing a yarn over as a, as like making something nice, like a decoration, or like a decorative stitch, not just an increased stitch, you want to make sure that you're evening back out your numbers, okay? So that's something you got to think about. So we're going to yarn back over and immediately go into our next slip, slip, knit, okay? Yarn it back over and immediately go back into our slip, slip, knit. And yarn over, go to our slip, slip, knit. Okay. We're going to do that till we get all the way to this guy, to that first stitch marker, okay? So I will see you back. Okay. Remember, we're going to yarn over. Then we're going to slip, slip, knit. Okay. I'll see you back when we get to that first stitch marker. All right, so I'm at my last repeat. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to slip, and then I'm going to get into that knit, and I'm going to knit it. Okay, so between this stitch marker, sorry guys, this stitch marker and this stitch marker, I should have 72 stitches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I know that because I'm a yarner, I may not have my exact number, so I'm going to double check. Okay, so 2, 4, I'm going to toss my thing on there so I know that my stitches are not going to go flying anywhere. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72. Okay, so here's the other thing I want to show you. This is how I know my stitches, okay? See this guy that's leaning to the left? That guy? This guy right here? This guy is my yarn over. My yarn over is going to lean to the left. This guy right here, next to my yarn over guy, he's my slip, slip, knit. Do you guys see how there's this little thing right here, this little loop-de-loo, our little V that was there. Okay, that's showing us, yep, in fact, this is a decrease. Okay, in a slip knit, that's what you're going to see. Okay, you're going to see these little pushed over V's leaning to the left. That's what we're talking about when we say that a slip knit leans to the left. See how that guy is leaning to the left? He just wants to hang out to the left. To the left, to the left. They've kicked him out. All of his boxes are to the left. Okay? So, slip knit, that guy's going to go to the left. My yarn over, he's going to hang out to the left. Okay? So that's how you can kind of see they kind of make a V situation there. That's my yarn over. That's my slip knit. All right? All right. So for the next part, this is where we're going to keep things flat, right? Or even. So all we're going to do is not lose our stitch marker. I told you guys they love to hop off. All we're going to do is these next 8 in between this stitch marker and this stitch marker, all we're going to do is knit them, okay? So we're just going to chug along, knit, knit, knit. Dur, 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 dur. Knit, 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 knit. All right. And then we are going to pass our stitch marker. Go ahead over to the other side, my guy. And we're back on the long side. So we're going to do our yarn over and our slip knit again. So yarn over, slip as if to pass. Slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit. And you guys know what I mean when I say that? Slip as if to knit. So when you're knitting, right? When you're doing the active knit stitch, you are hanging out with this leg right here. So when we say slip as if to knit, we mean take this leg and whoop it on over. You're going to it's going to twist. Okay? So you're going to take this as if you were going to knit it. Pretend like you're going to knit it, but you're not going to knit it yet. Okay? And you're just going to swoop right off. Now, if I said slip as if to purl, so when we purl, right, we go straight in, right? Like we droop right in. Okay? So if I said slip as if to purl, sometimes patterns won't even say as if to purl. Sometimes they will. It's a little funny how some of the patterns are written. Okay? So you're going to, if I would say slip or slip as if to purl, you're going to whoop. When we do a slip knit though, we have to remember that the knit is in there for a reason, okay? So we're going to slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, go in through that guy, swoop, stab his little guts, bring him around, throw him off the cliff, okay? So we're going to yarn over, slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, get in there, stab his little guts, throw that yarn around there and throw those stitches right off the cliff, okay? And I will see you back around when we get to the next stitch marker. Okie dokie. So, we just got done that. I've got my 72. I've counted. Hope you have counted as well. I know 72 is a big number, guys. I know us yarners, we don't love to count. But counting when doing lace work or mesh work in this essence or sense is important, okay? So, now we're going to do our 8. That's going to take us right back to the beginning of round, okay? So, if you understand that reference, you have children or have been around children in some aspect. That was Elmo's world. All right, we're going to slip that marker. Now, for the next 2 rounds, all we're going to do is knit around, okay? So, when you're knitting into this guy, I know it looks a little weird and silly. You work it the same way, okay? You just knit that top leg, front leg, whatever you like to call it. I believe it is called the right leg, technically, because it's to the right. I don't do a lot of the technicalities of knitting. But I believe this is the right leg and your back leg is the left leg. I like to call this the front leg because it's up front, and my back leg, your left leg, is my back leg. Okay, so even in the knit front and back, that's what they say. They say knit front and then knit the back. So that left and right thing, if you like that idea, rock on with your socks on. If not, be a rebel like me. They're going to call the yarn police. It'll be fine. Okay, so we're just going to keep knitting. And we're going to go around twice, okay? So you're going to do this, finish up this row, do another row, all right? I'll see you back when we do the next set, okay? Okie dokie artichokes. So, we've made it around the 2 rounds with just knit. Now we are going to do round 9. So we're going to do our knit 2 togethers with a yarn over, okay? This first one, all you're going to do is knit 2 together, okay? So you're just going to go in, swoop the 2, and knit it off, okay? Next, you're going to go in, and for the rest of them, you're going to do a yarn over, and then do your knit 2, okay? So it's always going to go knit 2, yarn over, knit 2, yarn over. So we did our knit 2, then we did our yarn over. Okay? So we're going to do another yarn over and go right back in to that knit 2. Okay? So remember, yarn over, and then our knit 2 is where we go in and we grab 2 stitches and we knit the 2. Okay? This knit 2 together, if you're a crocheter, think about it like when you're doing a decrease in crochet, right? So you're just going, you're taking 2 stitches and you're making them 1. And with that, like it's just like you're doing a decrease in crochet, where you're essentially just going, you know how you do like a single crochet 2 together? Pretend like this is a single crochet 2 together, but we're just transforming it, and I forgot to yarn over, transforming it into knit world. So we're just swooping that together. Okay? So we're going to keep doing this all the way down until we get to that first stitch marker. So we're yarn over, grab 2 stitches and knit them together. Grab 2 stitches and knit them together. Okay. So you're always going to make sure that you've got a yarn over in front of your knit 2 togethers, except for this very first one. This very first one, all you're doing is that knit 2 together. That's what's going to kind of help us see how it, like, they're kind of on top of each other, but they're not exactly on top of each other. Let me show you what I mean with a different one. See how these are kind of on top of each other, but they kind of got like a zigzag situation going? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just, they kind of zigzag. That one knit 2 together is enough to kind of push it just enough to kind of give it a little zigzag kind of look. And it's going to make such a yummy texture. Like, it is so fun to, like, if you are a texture person, you're gonna love it. It is so fun. It is squishy. It's great. It's good times. It is good times. So remember, yarn over and then knit 2 together, and I will see you. Do not forget that very last thing that you should be doing when you get down here is that yarn over, okay? And I'll remind you again, this is the part that's going to trick you guys up. It tricks me up every time. That last thing, you're not done with a knit 2 together. You're done with a yarn over, okay? So I'll show you when we get there. All right, so we have our last bit done. We've got this beautiful yarn over. We are going to slip this stitch and work right into those 8 knits. Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. All right. And then we're right back around. Swoop. And we are going to go right back into where we're going to knit 2 together first, then yarn over. Knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. Not forgetting that that very last stitch at the end should be a yarn over, okay? So also, I am a very loose knitter, but maybe you're not, or maybe you are, and you're still kind of having trouble wiggling into these stitches. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky to get up in there, okay? What I suggest is you give it a little tug. You're not going to hurt your work. You're not going to hurt what's below. Told you, guys, they love to fly out of here. You're just going to give it a little tug. Tug up on your needle, okay? It gives you a little bit of extra room to get up in there, okay? We're going to yarn over and knit 2. Yarn over, knit 2. Okay? So don't forget, you're going to start with your knit 2, then work into your yarn over. See how that looks a little bit different? See how my knit 2 sits straighter on my needle than what the SSK did? You're going to see in the back, you'll see in the back of a knit 2 where the knit 2 is. Like, you can kind of see it. Where we saw it in the front with the other one, you can kind of see it here. I feel like it's a little bit easier to see in the back there. There's a stitch hiding up under there. It kind of makes this one a little bit bulkier. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's a good way to know. Like, your knit 2 togethers are going to be sitting straighter on your needle. Your yarn overs are always going to be pointed to the left, and your knit 2s are going to stand up a bit straighter, okay? So don't forget, you're going to do knit 2, then a yarn over. Do not forget this last yarn over here, okay? So I'll see you at the end when we get over here. Okie dokie. So I've remembered my yarn over. I'm slip my stitch, and I'm going to work these last 8 till I get to my beginning of round. I'm going to show you guys because that's the point of a tutorial. Swoop. Swoop, swoop, swoop. All right. Okay. And just like we did at the end of the SSK round, we are going to do 2 rows of knit stitches only, okay? So just like we did before, we're just going to knit around, whoop-a-doop-a-doop, going into that front leg, right? Just zoop. Okay, you guys got the idea? Perfect. You're going to knit around twice, okay? And then, just like in the pattern, it says for rounds 12 through 72, you're going to repeat that from round 6 to round 11 10 more times, okay? So let me show you what I like to do. This is the project I showed you guys earlier. See how I have all of these stitch markers just chilling on the front? I know that like this stitch marker means this is 1. This is my second one. So this is my first initial. That's what we're working on right here, okay? And then this starts my repeats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm almost on this bag, okay? So then I'll stick another one there. I use these. I like this method, okay? This is one of the stitch count, the row counters that I was telling you guys about. My friend Sarah made these. For me, she does not sell them. I believe Miss Karen, what is her name? TSH Designs by Karen. TSH Designs by Karen on Etsy sells them. Tell her Leah sent you, okay? So what I like to do is I like to say, okay, I need 10 repeats. So on that 7th one, because I'm not using that 7th one, I stuck 10 of my stitch markers. I just lined them up like what you would do with the monkeys in the barrel. I just clipped them all down. And as I got to a repeat that I finished, as I got to that, like, that row around 11, right? That repeat, I stuck one there, okay? So since our repeat is 6 rounds, or 6 rounds, I went, okay, cool. So the 7th, I know I don't need, right? I only need to go up to 6. Once I get to that 6, I will, swoop, put one in there, knit a couple, and then stick one on there. Then I know, okay, that's my next repeat, okay? And I keep going. All right, so I suggest you do that. It just kind of helps you to keep you want a total of 11 of these, okay? So including your repeat, or including your original, you're going to do your original, repeat 10 times. So 1 plus 10 is 11, right? So you'll know when you're done when you have 11 stitch markers chilling out here, okay? So that's a good, helpful idea. If you choose to do that way, that's great. I will see you back when all 11 are done, when you have your last, whatchamacallit, your last repeat. Sorry guys, I don't have a brain today. We will start the last tutorial when you have finished all of your repeats. So I'll check you back then.